Welcome back to My Dad Watches The Bachelor. I'm Meredith, and I'm here with my co-host, my dad.
Hey, Meredith. How's it going?
It's going well. I'm excited to jump into one of my favorite episodes today. One of your least favorite, probably.
So we get to discuss and review the eligible bachelorettes that our bachelor Clayton will be meeting and hopefully choosing his soulmate, his significant other, his future wife from.
Yes, we're going to be going through the bios of Clayton's women, making some quick judgments based on very little information, and choosing our final four women, our first impression rose winner, our villain of the season, and ultimately our winner.
Yeah, and just we do this, and I guess I do this by going to the ABC website where they have a page on Meet the Cast, and they have a picture and a very short paragraph introducing us. So, this is we're throwing some darts here, and speaking for me, I don't mean to be too judgy. Although I do think if you put yourself on a reality TV show, you're sort of asking yourself to be judged a bit. I cannot speak for my daughter.
I like to be judgy, so that's what I'm going for right now. I think some of these bios are absolutely ridiculous, and I will vocalize that when I see it.
Okay, well, we have like 31 contestants, which is a ludicrous amount. And how anyone, I think as you've told me, the first night when he meets all these women lasts until dawn, and it's got to be awful. And how he even can remember names of people to say, "I'm keeping you," or "You have to leave," I have no idea.
Well, that's why you're not the Bachelor. You just couldn't handle it.
That and the fact that I'm married and very happily married to the mom, yes. But let's move on.
All right, our first contestant of Clayton's season is Cassidy. She's 26 years old. She's an executive assistant from Los Angeles, California. She doesn't like clubs because she hates waiting in lines, has a matching tattoo with her mom, and is a pro at driving stick shift.
I give her points for driving stick shifts. I'm a little worried about her not liking to wait, because I just get the sense there's probably a lot of waiting on this show, so that worries me a little bit.
Yeah, I didn't have anything really popping out about Cassidy. She seems very middle of the road to me.
Okay.
Next, we have Claire. She's 28 years old, and she's a spray tanner from Virginia Beach, Virginia. She is a single mother, and people who don't wear deodorant make her angry.
Probably an occupational hazard if you're a spray tanner. You prefer that people wear deodorant before they come in and get their work done, I assume. I guess I have a philosophical problem with people who are spray tanners, so I'm not very high on Claire. I'm not pro spray tanning.
I think that she has a really nice name, and we know that Clayton is good with kids, or that kids like him, so that could work out. Maybe a single mother doesn't scare him, but we don't really know that much about Clayton, so who knows?
Yeah, I think Clayton, we're assuming he likes kids. I guess I do worry about people that come onto the show that already have kids. Is this a good parenting move? So that always makes me a bit wary.
Yeah, that's fair. Next, we have Daria. She's 24. She's a law student from Baldwin, New York. She was accepted into 7 Ivy League schools and has a Harvard degree. She's now in her 3rd year at Yale Law School, but I guess she was taking a hiatus last semester to go on the show. She dreams of being an advocate for women's rights in the future and idolizes Amal Clooney because she's an ally for women. She also hates sushi and wants to write a children's book one day.
So the only thing I can think of here, I mean, she seems very accomplished from an educational perspective, but if she wants to be an advocate for women's rights, perhaps she's like coming on as like an undercover agent to destroy this show, because I don't really see this as a women's rights type situation here. So unless she's a double agent and going to wreak havoc, I don't think she'll be here very long.
I like that idea. I think it could be fun to have a double agent in there to try and sabotage the show.
I do too.
My thoughts were that she seems too smart to be going on the show and is already throwing away her career as a lawyer before it's even started.
So it sounds like neither of us are very high on her.
No, we're not. Next, we have Eliza. She is a 25-year-old marketing manager from Berlin, Germany. She spent most of her childhood traveling to and from Berlin for her father's job. She loves food festivals and going to movies by herself, and she and her family visit Switzerland often for vacation.
She's looking for someone who is cultured, worldly, and ready to be her partner. And Clayton has not yet struck me as being well traveled, cultured, worldly. So I'm not seeing a good match here.
Yeah, I think that's fair. To me, Eliza seems normal but has an interesting backstory, so that could give her potential to go far.
Okay.
Next, we have Elizabeth, who is a 32-year-old real estate advisor from Highlands Ranch, Colorado. She has a taste for the finer things in life, so she wants a man to be bougie by her side. She's career driven and wants a man who appreciates that and has the same characteristics. She speaks a dozen languages. Petting cute dogs makes her happy, and tattoos are not her thing.
So I will tell you that I put a little mark next to her name as a potential villain, in that when I saw bougie, it sort of made me wonder, and the fact that she likes the finer things in life. You know, that's all well and good, but she needs a man who won't dull her light in any way. She strikes me as someone who might need the spotlight. So I have a question mark next to her.
I put her as potential top four material. You know, she's very pretty. She's older, so she could be mature, stay out of the drama. Career driven, so that could align with Clayton since he wants to get his MBA, start his own business. I don't know. There's something about her that I was interested in.
Okay.
Next, we have Ency. Might be pronouncing that wrong. She's a 26-year-old sales manager from Burbank, California. She loves Dance Dance Revolution, taught English to North Korean defectors when she studied abroad, and would love more opportunities to dress in costume. I think that's weird.
Yeah, she also seems very ocean oriented, and coming from Columbia, Missouri, I'm not sure how that will fit with Clayton. So um, I don't know. Nothing there that really grabbed me.
Fair. Next, we have Gabby. She's a 30-year-old ICU nurse from Denver, Colorado. She has a golden doodle named Leonardo, is terrified of humpback whales but would love to see one in person from a safe distance, loves to write cards, and stomping grapes in Italy is at the top of her bucket list.
She wants somebody with a personality, which many of us do. There was nothing there again that made me uh, think that she was going to be in the final four. But who knows?
Oh, I thought that Gabby seemed like someone I could be friends with, which is a big indicator for me. And I can also kind of see Clayton vibing with a golden doodle or the kind of person that has a golden doodle. So I thought she had potential.
Okay. Now, how do you feel about humpback whales? You okay with them?
Yeah, I'm cool with them. I mean, I don't think I'd want to be like on a boat near one while it's like jumping out of the water, but they seem very majestic.
Okay.
Next, we have Genevieve. She is a 26-year-old bartender from Los Angeles, California. She doesn't like public speaking, loves to go fishing, and says Haley and Justin Bieber are relationship goals. Which, I mean, I've seen some questionable things about their relationship, so I find this a little worrisome.
Well, I didn't even know that Justin Bieber was married. You had to explain this to me, so I didn't know what to make of that. Yeah, I was somewhat intrigued by her just because I thought to be a bartender, one must be able to socialize with people, despite the fact that she doesn't really like the public speaking, which could hurt her in this show, or maybe Clayton could find it endearing. Who knows?
Just like reading her bio, I thought that she seemed pretty high maintenance based on what she wants from a relationship. She's going to need a guy to check a lot of boxes, so I didn't think that she would do well.
Okay.
Next, we have Haley, who is a 26-year-old pediatric nurse from Orlando, Florida. She dreams of hanging out with elephants in Thailand. She's not afraid to go skinny dipping, and she's Taylor Swift's biggest fan, which is false.
Because you are.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, and if you read her bio, she says that she feels like this is all happening at the perfect time for her. Her body and career are exactly where she wants them to be, which made me shake my head a little bit.
Maybe she just got new boobs or something.
Maybe. I don't know. I found her to be a potential Final Four candidate.
I did as well. She seems like the wholesome Southern Belle vibe with like a bigger personality. Plus, Taylor Swift fans, that's a check in my book. And I think for whatever reason, I could see Clayton being into girls who are nurses.
Okay, I'm not sure I see the nurse connection, but Haley is a pediatric nurse, so I'm Haley's on my list as a potential Final Four candidate.
Me too.
Okay.
Next, we have Hunter. She is a 28-year-old human resources specialist from Charlotte, North Carolina. She used to work at Walt Disney World as a princess. Her favorite book is A Walk to Remember. She would love to be Justin Bieber's One Less Lonely Girl and would love to have an Australian accent. Haley Hunter seems like the type of girl that I would dislike a lot.
Because of the Disney connection or because of the Australian accent?
I don't vibe with Disney adults or like the type of adults that would work at Disney World, especially as a princess. But like her fun facts, favorite book is The Walk to Remember. She wants to be Justin Bieber's One Less Lonely Girl. She sounds like me as a 10-year-old, but she's 28. So it's just not what we want.
She didn't score high on my rating, so I've got not much opinion of her. So the whole Australian accent thing I just thought that was a little bit weird.
Yeah, she seems nice enough though, so I don't think that she has villain potential, but I'm just not into her at all.
Okay.
Next we have Ivana, who is a 31-year-old bar mitzvah dancer from Queens, New York. I'm going to pause here because I did not know bar mitzvah dancers were a thing.
And I've been around longer than you. I've been to a good number of bar mitzvahs, mostly when I was a younger person, but didn't know that this was a vocation, a bar mitzvah dancer.
Yeah, so I had to do a little research and ask around to my boyfriend and figure out what a bar mitzvah dancer does, because I think that you and I were both thinking stripper.
Well, it is a celebration of reaching manhood, or I guess womanhood. So we weren't sure what to make of a bar mitzvah dancer.
But I've been told that it's more of a encouraging people to be on the dance floor kind of dancer, which still seems odd to me, but okay.
Well, back in my day, it was. I'm not sure that this turned into like a dance party. I think that there might have been some hokey pokey type stuff going on, but times have changed. And we should note that she lives in New York, in Queens, New York. I think that there are certain parts of the country where a bar mitzvah dancer would have challenges in staying busy, but New York is probably the right place to be in. She might have a hard time moving. Anyway,
Let's get to the rest of her bio because there's some things to unpack here.
Okay.
She calls herself a multi-dater who has dated every type of man New York City has to offer. Her idea of a romantic date involves dancing naked in the rain and ends with cuddling after her man washes her hair. And she hopes to one day have a dog, 5 snakes, 3 exotic frogs, 1 lizard, and a turtle.
So would you say that this is the person that's trying to become an influencer and Instagram famous, or is she serious about that being on the show?
I think this girl is nuts, or the show is trying to make her seem nuts through her bio, which either way is not a good sign for her.
Well, I needless to say, with between being the bar mitzvah dancer, I'm not a big snake person, so I'm anyone that's interested in having pet snakes or whatever, and lizards and frogs, I'm not going to be high on that person. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with her, but I can't imagine her being around in the Final Four.
Yeah, I agree. Next, we have Jane, who is a 33-year-old social media director from Los Angeles, California. She dreams of a life filled with unlimited kombucha. She's terrified of tall cliffs and prefers glamping over camping.
It also says that she is the life of the party and she's not afraid to be bold, which makes me think first rose potential? Question mark? I don't know. Because you're trying to distinguish yourself that first night. So I don't really see her as a Final Four candidate, but I wonder if she might be a first rose candidate. Although you have told me that typically the person that gets the first rose often ends up in the Final Four.
No.
No?
Not for The Bachelor.
That's just for The Bachelor?
No, for The Bachelorette, that is true. But on The Bachelor, that is very false.
Okay, well, that's good to know. See, I assume, we just got through a season where Nate got the first rose and ended up as the winner and in the final, obviously in the Final Four. So
yeah, that's how things work with The Bachelorette, because women have good instincts.
Okay. And some of these women, I suspect, can fake it for a while, but ultimately might not be there at the end.
Yeah, I had no significant thoughts on Jane.
Okay.
Well, next we have Jill, who's a 26-year-old architectural historian from Scituate, Rhode Island. She loves walking around the local cemeteries, knows how to identify baby pine trees as males or females, and was obsessed with Twilight as a teen. Petting a wombat is also at the top of her bucket list. So that's all weird.
Well, I just say, she is an architectural historian, which made me think that maybe that's partly why she enjoys walking around cemeteries, which can be a very peaceful place to walk around. But yes, the rest of it was pretty weird. She does want a hunk of a man that she can climb like a tree, which fits well with Clayton. But I think the other weirdness probably makes her someone who I don't think will go too far.
I agree. Next, we have Kate, who's a 32-year-old real estate agent from Lake Hollywood, California. She works at one of LA's top real estate firms, has a house in the Hollywood Hills, and a glamorous social life. I did some research for, the fans listening. She works for the Oppenheim Group, which is the firm that is in Netflix's very popular show, Selling Sunset. I know you haven't heard of this, Dad, but it's very popular. I enjoy the show. It's very exciting that she works for the Oppenheim Group.
Well, the bio says that she's got a great job in real estate, a great Hollywood home, a great social life, looking for a fellow with a little bit of a flashy side. This does not feel like a good connection for Clayton. And it sounds like everything's going great for him. I'm not sure why she wants to come on this show. To me, again, potential influencer. Is she here for the right reasons? We will find out.
Her idea of a romantic date is skydiving. Her moon rising sign is Leo, which she says speaks for itself. I have no idea what that means.
Nope.
But she's a Mario Kart aficionado, and most importantly, once went on a date with Harry Styles.
And she's
So
very happy to talk about it. From a guy perspective, I don't know if I need people talking about my dates. So that
but
makes
you're
more.
not Harry Styles. No one's going to be really excited about the dates they go on with you compared to Harry Styles.
Well, I think that you want to have some decorum and not spill everything about your dates, even when they're with Harry Styles. It's okay to say I went out with Harry Styles, but I don't think you want to spill the details of your date with Harry Styles.
Well, obviously it didn't work out, so it's not like it's a big deal anymore. It's not like she's trying to really hold on to that relationship with him.
Could
But
be some awful things about Harry Styles.
to me, Kate is the kind of person who's born to go on The Bachelor.
Okay, well, you got your wish there.
All right, next we have Kira, who's a 32-year-old physician from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. She's got a bachelor's degree from Harvard, an MBA from the University of Pennsylvania, and a medical degree from UNC Chapel Hill. She taught herself to write hieroglyphics as a child. She loves nachos and has 2 cats.
How overqualified can a person be to be on this show? If she's a physician, maybe she's got COVID exhaustion and said, I've got to go do something totally different. I'm a physician. But as someone who attended the University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill, it disappoints me to see that Kira is here with us today.
Yeah, I think she's too smart to be going on the show. And once again, someone who's throwing away her career before it's really even started.
Well, I think if she's a doctor, she'll find work. But I'm sorry, Kira, you shouldn't be here. Sorry.
I don't know. I just don't think that I would want my doctor to have been a former Bachelor contestant. It just doesn't provide as much confidence as I would like.
Good point.
Next, we have Lindsay D., who's a 27-year-old neonatal nurse from Jacksonville, Florida. She won Miss Teen America at the age of 17. She is a single mother, loves Taco Bell and Hallmark Christmas movies, and enjoys napping in hammocks.
So, again, I worry about parents that come on this show. She's got a daughter, so that worries me a little bit. And loving Taco Bells and Hallmark Christmas movies just sounds like a slippery slope for poor Clayton. I'm not sure he'd want to actually do that. So I'd worry a little bit about that.
Yeah, it sounds very basic, like it's something someone would say when they don't really have a personality to talk about.
Let's move along.
Next is Lindsay W., who is a 28-year-old industrial sales representative from Houston, Texas. She doesn't do clowns, can't sleep without a white noise machine, and says she's more of a baby Spice than a sporty Spice.
I think if you know that much about the Spice, I think you're sounding like high maintenance to me. So I'm not a fan of this one.
Yeah, I don't have many thoughts, but I think she's going to struggle to sleep in a room with like 20 other girls and no white noise machine.
Well, maybe she's bringing the white noise machine, but I suspect she'll still have some issues with getting her a proper rest.
All right, next is Mara, 32-year-old entrepreneur from Collingswood, New Jersey. She was born in Puerto Rico and migrated to the U.S. with her family when she was young. She loves to salsa dance. Snoring is a deal breaker, and she doesn't eat spicy food.
Yeah, it says that she can be tough when it comes to relationships, and I wonder if she might be a potential villain. I don't know.
I just don't see Clayton being into her. I think he's more into like the bland blonde girls that like Hallmark and Taco Bell.
Perhaps, but that might not keep her from being a villain.
That's true. Next we have Marlena, 30-year-old former Olympian from Virginia Beach, Virginia. She's a VP of Human Resources, runs her own real estate company, and owns several properties. She competed for Haiti at the 2012 Summer Olympics in track and field. And there is nothing or no one in this world who could convince her to go bungee jumping.
Is that just like challenging this show to make her go bungee jumping?
That's what it sounds like to me.
Yeah. She seems very accomplished. I'm not sure that's going to be a match for Clayton, but she could do very well. We don't know what she was. Do we know what sport she participated in the Olympics?
Track and field.
So some of the competition, she might distinguish herself. We'll see.
Hmm. I just don't understand why a successful woman like this would really need to come on the show.
Well, I think we could say that about many of the people on the show.
Next, we have Melina, who is a 27-year-old personal trainer from West Hollywood, California. She created a shock-absorbing workout shoe to make cardio more fun called Kanga Boots. She's a skilled jump roper, loves being tucked in, and when she dies, she wants to be buried in cranberry sauce and stuffing.
So that's just weird, So I don't know what to make of that. I don't know what it means. I just put weird.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what this shock absorbing workout shoe is or how a shock absorbing workout shoe makes cardio more fun, but it wouldn't surprise me if she was like trying hard to promote her shoe and got sent home night one.
Yeah, I certainly got the sense that we are going to learn more about this Kanga shoe or Kanga, whatever it was, Kanga boot, sometime during the show. So I did question whether she's here for the right reason.
Next, we have Rachel, who's a 25-year-old flight instructor from Clermont, Florida, has her private pilot license, could live off flaming hot Cheetos, can't wait to read Harry Potter with her kids one day, and once organized a flash mob in high school.
So I'm impressed when someone gets their pilot's license. It shows a little bit of follow through and work there. I think they're trying to hook us a little bit with this wanting to read books to Harry Potter books for kids one day, sort of like the family potential. So I'm a little intrigued there. Don't know. We'll see.
I think she seems too cool for Clayton.
Well, she's on the show. I mean, it has a coolness factor. She might stay around a while.
Yeah, true. Next, we have Rihanna, 26-year-old registered nurse from Dallas, Texas, loves to watch Naked and Afraid, hates doing laundry, which, she might play into the Naked and Afraid part. Is very competitive when it comes to Monopoly.
I'm not. So the Naked and Afraid, that's another show. Are people running around naked? What's that story?
I think they drop two people off in the middle of nowhere naked and they have to survive.
Okay. Well, great. Well, it says big personality. She's got cowboy boots. She likes to do the two-step. She seems very outdoorsy. I thought there might be some potential there.
I don't know. She seems too country to me. The two-stepping, hunting, horseback riding. I'm not sure that's going to be Clayton's girl.
Okay. I don't know. She's, who knows? Potential. I think there's potential there.
Next, we have Sally, who is a 26-year-old previously engaged woman from Charlottesville, Virginia. She is a spine surgery robot operator, hates cotton balls, is obsessed with hot tubs, so she came to the right show, and wants to own a clothing store one day.
Yeah, the whole previously, it's got her vocation as previously engaged, which, just sort of made me think what's going on with this one. So I very skeptical there.
Yeah, this may be shocking, but I get the vibe that she's here more for the Instagram sponsorships than she is for Clayton.
Okay.
Next, we have Samantha, a 26-year-old occupational therapist from San Diego, California. She occasionally likes to play blackjack, has gone skydiving 12 times, and would love to own a dog sanctuary one day.
She says that she's outgoing, a glass half full person, which would lead me to think that she has the potential for doing okay on this type of show. I don't know. She likes skydiving. I think that so she might be somewhat adventurous. Nothing there to say, oh, this is going to be the one, but she could be around a while. Who knows?
Yeah, she seems very cool and she's very pretty. So I think, she's a contender for me for top 4.
Yeah. Okay.
Next, we have Sarah, 23-year-old wealth management advisor from New York City, New York. She started a nonprofit that aims to support adopted children. Nothing makes her happier than cute, tiny dogs. She gets frustrated by slow walkers and thinks that Wonder Woman is a badass.
So she's 23 years old and a wealth management advisor. I question whether she's accomplished a lot at this point in time. There are different types of wealth management advisors, but I don't think people are going to give many 23-year-olds too much money to manage. To me, she just seems a little bit young to be here at this point in time, so I don't have high hopes for her.
Yeah, she seems a bit young for Clayton to me. And I also did some research and couldn't find anything about this nonprofit that she started, so that's not a good sign either.
Yeah, she could be, could be a criminal, and you never know. She could be just trying to get our money.
It's a money laundering front. Next, we have Serene, who is a 26-year-old elementary school teacher from Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. She loves the theater, but only if it's a musical. Guinea pigs freak her out, and she has a cat named Leonardo DiCaprio.
For some reason, I don't know where. I'm thinking that Clayton's a dog person. I don't know if that's something we know or just something I'm thinking. Is Clayton a dog person?
That seems fair to me.
Okay, so I'm not sure he's going to connect with the cat people. The fact that she's an elementary school teacher probably is a plus, in that Clayton's mom is an elementary school teacher. So I'm not getting the vibe there, but you never know.
I gave her Final Four potential simply for the fact that the teacher thing is in common.
Mm-hmm.
All right, next we have Shanae, 29-year-old recruiter from Sycamore, Ohio. She loves Christmas so much that she keeps her tree up all year. She's obsessed with zoos and is not dating a man who performs magic.
Yeah. Small town girl with a huge personality. Christmas. I love Christmas too, but the tree's not going to be up too much longer here. So, some of the things that she likes seemed a little unnecessary. So I don't know. Didn't I don't see her going too far.
Yeah, she makes a good point about not wanting to date a man who performs magic, but I don't think it makes up for the craziness of keeping the Christmas tree up year round. So it's a no from me.
I think that men that do like a magic trick or two should be okay. I think, a man obsessed with doing magic tricks, not so much.
Okay. Next, we have Sierra. She's a 26-year-old recruiting coordinator from Dallas, Texas. She loves scavenger hunts. Her favorite flower is a black rose, and she can't eat enough Korean food, especially kimchi and rice.
She also loves scavenger hunts. She's concerned about bad hygiene, which, that's fair. Favorite flower is the black rose. I'm not familiar with the black rose. I assume it's a rose that's black. I don't know. She seems very nice. Didn't really strike me as anything there that might be a strong connection.
The favorite flower being a black rose was definitely giving me villain vibes.
Okay.
Next, we have Susie, 28-year-old wedding videographer from Virginia Beach, Virginia. She was Miss Virginia in 2020. She moved to Japan to experience new culture, would love to be a documentary filmmaker one day, hates haunted houses, and is a jiu-jitsu champion.
For some reason, I liked her. I saw her as a potential Final Four candidate. She values loyalty. Being a beauty queen probably helps you in this sort of show. All these young ladies seem very lovely. But I suspect she's been in some high pressure situations before, going through beauty pageants. So I don't know. I saw her as a contender.
Yeah, I usually talk smack about the beauty queen stuff. I think it's been overplayed now that we've gotten past the Hannah Brown and Caitlin Miller-Keyes drama of Colton season. But she seems to be more well-rounded and have a lot going on, and something is drawing me to Susie.
And I like the fact that she's a jiu-jitsu champion. I'm not totally sure what jiu-jitsu is, but at least it makes me think that she's going to be fairly athletic and do well in some of the competitions.
Maybe she'll do well in the inevitable pillow fight that we'll see this season.
That's right, or the girl boxing matches that we all long for.
Next is Teddy. She's a 24-year-old surgical unit nurse from Highland, California. She could eat pasta for every meal. She was terrified of ladybugs growing up and loves massages.
And she's not afraid of late night skinny dipping, which, yeah, I'm sure that it's almost a prerequisite for most of these ladies to get on the show. Um, Grew up in a strict Christian household, but lives her own life. Um, Again, not sure that there's anything here that strikes me as a good connection to Clayton, but what do I know?
Yeah, I don't really have any thoughts on her. Last, we have Tessa, 26-year-old human resource specialist from Stamford, Connecticut. She loves to bowl. Stevie Nicks is her bohemian icon, and she has a fear of red fruits, such as apples, grapes, and raisins, which I do not understand being scared of a colored fruit.
And I didn't understand why Stevie Nicks is a bohemian icon. I don't know. Is that what's your generation's take on Stevie Nicks? I watched her growing up with Fleetwood Mac. I never really saw her as a bohemian, but is there something going on there?
I don't know. I don't think my generation has too much of an opinion. I think Stevie Nicks did a remix covered type song with Miley Cyrus that was good recently.
Okay, I'm pro Fleetwood Mac, so I'm also a fan of Stevie Nicks. I just never really saw her as a bohemian, but nothing there that made me think that she didn't make my list of potential candidates there.
Same. All right, let's get to our picks.
Okay, let's do it.
Let's start with our first impression, Rose. Would you like to lead us off, or should I?
I'm you go ahead and lead us off. I'm checking my notes real quick.
All right. My first impression Rose pick is going to Kate, who is the 32-year-old real estate agent from Lake Hollywood, California, that works for the Oppenheim Group, that just is the type of person who is born to go on The Bachelor. I think she could differentiate herself night one, since she does work for the Oppenheim Group. Like, she's probably good at speaking. She works with rich people, celebrities, good at speaking to them, selling herself to them. And I think that makes her a good first impression Rose candidate.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna go with Jane, the 33-year-old social media director from Los Angeles, who says that she's the life of the party and not afraid to be bold. So I'm going to try to ride her boldness to the first impression Rose victory this go around.
Okay. Villain pick. Mine is Ivana, the 31-year-old bar mitzvah dancer from Queens, New York. Her bio is just so ridiculous. There's got to be something going on here. You know, her idea of a romantic date involves dancing naked in the rain and her man washing her hair. She wants snakes and frogs and lizards and turtles. Like, something's off here.
I can see why you might want to go that way. I mean, it was so off that I just wondered if she would be around long enough to become the villain. I don't think you can get thrown off the first night and be considered the villain. Although,
That's true.
consider that
We seem to have a lot of villains as the season progresses, though. One
well,
will get sent home, and a new one will rise from the ashes.
this is true. So I'm going to go with villain with Elizabeth, the real estate advisor from Colorado, uh, the bougie, highfalutin person who I can just see things might not be up to her standards, and she could cause some problems. So I'm going to go with Elizabeth as my potential villain.
Okay, well, that takes me into my first top four pick of Elizabeth.
Okay.
I think that, you know, she is a bit older, so maybe she has some maturity. She's career driven. which can align well with Clayton and what he wants to do in his life. I think that there's some potential there, and I think that Clayton's into the blondes for whatever reason.
Because you and I both watched the preview and we saw a lot of blondes floating around. So we're sort of assuming that the blondes are going to do well this season.
Yeah, we are assuming that.
So,
all right, who's your first top 4?
So for my first top 4, I'm going to go with Haley, the pediatric nurse from Florida. It's got a lot of Southern things. She's got her career right. She's got her body right. She seems prepared for this. So I'm going with Haley.
I also picked Haley.
Okay.
I got to support the Taylor Swift fans, and she's like the wholesome Southern belle vibe with a big personality. She's a nurse, which I don't know why. I think just Clayton's going to go for that type of girl. I see her doing well.
Well, I'm with you on that, and you and I both picked some of the same people last time, and that seemed to work out for us, at least with Joe.
Yeah.
So that's okay. So for my next one, I am going to go with another nurse, Rihanna, registered nurse from Dallas. Big personality, seems very outdoorsy to me, which for some reason I think is going to click with Clayton. So likes to hunt, hike, very big on hiking. Doesn't do laundry. I'm not sure that's going to come up in many conversations, but you never know. So I'm gonna go with Rihanna.
Okay, my next pick, also a nurse, Gabby, 30-year-old ICU nurse from Denver, Colorado, has a golden doodle. Stomping grapes in Italy is top of her bucket list. I'm picking her because she seems like someone I could be friends with it, which is important to me. And I can see, we talked about we think Clayton's a dog guy. I think that he can vibe with dog people. I got a good feeling about Gabby.
Okay. My next one is Susie, the wedding videographer from Virginia Beach, who was also the Miss Virginia, I think, at one point in time, and the jiu-jitsu champion. So I think athletic, has the beauty pageant experience, and she is blonde. So I'm going with Susie.
I picked Susie as my last pick. Actually, okay. I enjoyed her a lot. I think she's just seems very well-rounded, like a normal, smart, driven woman, and something's drawing her to me, and I like her.
Okay. You haven't even met her yet. So
I haven't even met her.
My last pick is Rachel, the flight instructor, who you think might be too cool for this show. She's earned her private pilot's license. She's looking for someone who will be respectful, including to waiters, which I appreciate, particularly these days. And she wants to read Harry Potter books to her kids. So sounds like she wants a family. So I'm going to put Rachel in as one of my final 4 picks.
Okay. So we've got our final 4. Now we have to pick a winner from that. My winner of Clayton season is Gabby. I'm not really sure why. It's just a gut feeling. She seems normal and nice. And I think that that's the type of girl that Clayton's going to go for. Even though she's not blonde, I've got a good feeling about Gabby.
Okay. Well, I'm going to go with Susie, the jiu-jitsu beauty queen, thinking it's the full package. So I'm gonna put my money down on Susie and see how we do.
All right, there you have it. Those are our picks for Clayton season of The Bachelor.
So when do we have to start watching this show? When do we get to start watching this show?
Clayton season airs Monday, January 3rd. We're back to our regular Monday schedule, so you should be getting our podcast every Tuesday, starting once Clayton season is running. We're very excited. We'd like to thank The Mesh for hosting our podcast, and if you like what you're hearing, feel free to give us a 5-star rating and subscribe to us so you never miss an episode. And that's all we've got for today, so join us next time as we discuss the first episode of Clayton's season from the right perspective and my dad's.